So guys, before I show you how to fix your AC adapter, first let's see how to test an AC adapter. Okay, I have a Toshiba here. It's simple. All you have to do is use your multi-tester, be it a digital tester or an analog tester. Okay, whichever way still works. First is test. This should produce 19 volts. Set your meter to over. The reading should the range should be higher than a 19 volts. So I have a 20 and I have a 200. I can just put it at 20, or you can put it at 200 just to make sure that it will not overload the tester. Okay, the center pin, the center socket is always the positive. Most often 19.2 is fine. Okay, now I have another this is for an HP notebook. This is a smaller one though, but if you notice, the socket is so tiny that even my test rod cannot get in. What should we do? First is you get a metal, like a paper clip, stick it inside. Note, you don't have to short this one and the center socket. Okay, put your negative here, your common, and then okay, that's 18 point. Actually, this should read 18.5. Well, that's acceptable. Okay, this is still good. Okay, now what about Adele? Adele has a center pin, the inside wall, and the outer. How do you test Adele adapter? It's just easy. Note, the positive part of the connector or the jack is the inside wall, not the center pin. If you notice in Adele, there is a male pin in the center. Don't stick that positive terminal there, because the positive terminal goes in the side wall inside. See that? It's 19.3. So I'm sticking this thing in the inside wall. That's 19.3. Okay, that's good. Now I have an HP that also looks like Adele adapter. It also comes with a center pin. Usually HP have like just the regular adapter like this, but now the newer HPs, they come with a center pin just like the Dell adapter. Okay, let me check this one too. It's the same. Not the center pin, but on the side, inside wall, sticking there. See, it's 19, it reads 19.8. Okay, this is a good adapter. What if you have, I have an IBM adapter here. Before I teach you how to fix this, okay, for the IBM or the Lenovo, the center socket or the socket is the positive and the outside wall is the negative, so it's 16.5. Okay. What if you don't see a reading? This happens especially when you think that your computer doesn't power up, so you might be thinking, hey, my machine is bad. But first and foremost, you have to check your power adapter. It could be that you don't have any more juice in your battery, so the first thing to check is the AC power adapter. Okay, for some reason you don't have an output here. That means this either could be the problem, the main box, this could be the problem, or this one, the pin breaks, the inside of the pin breaks. Most often, in my experience, this is the one that breaks. So whenever you have an AC power adapter that does not work, don't buy an AC power adapter right away. Well, if money is not an issue with you, then go ahead. You know, some AC adapters, especially expensive AC adapters that have like 150 watts, they are expensive. They could go over $100. I don't want to spend $100 just for an AC adapter. Okay, here's what you're gonna do. If you don't have a signal here or a voltage reading here, what you're going to do is okay, don't power it, okay? I mean, don't plug it in. What you're going to do, guys, is you have to cut it. You have to cut this one. Okay? Okay, let me cut it. Unplug it, okay? Just to make sure you unplug it, okay? Now when you cut it, this is a trial and error. You have to splice it or strip it. You can either use a stripper or you can just use your own box cutter. Since I don't have a stripper handy here, I just use my box cutter. Okay, if you can see, there are two wires inside. The outside, which is the negative, and the center, which is the positive. Okay, you can just follow what I'm doing right now. Okay, splice it here. Don't cut all the way. I'm just only cutting the insulator. Okay, leave about 5 millimeter, and then okay guys, after you cut, you strip, you have to spread them. These should not go, they should not contact with each other. And then you have to test it. Test it to make sure that this is still good. If this doesn't give you any reading, that means you have to buy a new adapter. Simple as that. But as what I told you, before buying another adapter first is test your old adapter. It could be still fixable. So, okay, let's test it. This is negative. Again, the center is positive. This is negative. And this is positive here. Okay, that is still good. Still works. 15.3. So that means this is good, while the one that I cut was bad. Okay, so now I have another extra adapter here that has a similar connector. Actually, I cut it earlier for a Toshiba. And this is a Toshiba here. What I'm going to do is to solder the center to center and the outside to this one. But if you're gonna ask, oh, that's it? That's all you need to do? Well, I'm gonna teach you how the technique and how to really make a good solder and how to do a good finish. Okay, here's what you're gonna do. If you see this, cut this uneven. I have a cutter here. Oh, I forgot. You have to remove this. You don't have to work with a live burner. Okay? Remember that. Don't forget. I almost forgot about it. Okay, you have to cut it here. Can you see it? This is long, the center is long, and the outside is short. On the other hand, you take a look at this. On the other part, the center is short and the outside is long. Why is that so? I'll show you what makes it a big difference if you do it like that. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Goes like that. So now we're gonna do the solder.
Okay guys, before we proceed further, I'm going to introduce to you a product called heat shrink tube or heat shrink tubing. I buy this from Radio Shack. If you live in the US, Radio Shack is all over. But if you live in outside of US, you might want to check with your electronic shop. And some people call this heat shrink tube. Some they call it heat shrink tubing, and some call this heat shrink wrap. Okay, what it does is whenever you introduce hot air on the body of it, it just shrinks to the wire, and it is a better alternative than using electrical tape. I don't use electrical tape when I fix the wires, AC adapters. Okay, so just cut a portion just to cover the connector where the wire is exposed, or the wires are exposed. This is just an insulator, but this is a nice way to insulate the solder. Right now I'm cutting a larger or a longer portion because this will cover this is the finished insulator. This is the finishing insulator. That's what I meant. Okay, make sure you first cut the big wire and then put it already attached to the wire, whichever part you want. So, and then also if you have a flux paste or solder paste, That makes the solder melt quickly. So I always use a solder flux. Okay, so I just dip the tip of the wires to the solder flux so that I can solder. Do this to the other half of the wire connectors by soldering the tips. And before I forget, guys, don't make the heat shrink tube get close to the solder because it's going to shrink. So you don't want to do that. And then just cut enough length of heat shrink tube so that you can put it in the junction on the center wires so as to insulate it. Again, don't make it get close to the hot air so that it will not shrink. Make sure, guys, that both tips are have lead, solder leads. Otherwise, it's you're gonna spend so much time just to heat it. So as soon as you're done, slide. What I'm doing right now is I'm sliding the small portion of heat shrink tube there. The size just enough to fit. Not too big, not too small, just to fit in that particular junction there. So again, what the heat shrink tube does is to shrink to whatever curvature of the surface it covers. You see that? It makes it a nice finish there. Okay, the next one is to solder the negative wires. Okay, again, I'm cutting just enough length of heat shrink tube to cover the solder junction there. I'm just holding it away from the solder so that it will not shrink while I'm soldering that junction. Okay, it looks like I need to put in some more solder because earlier I put just not enough to melt or to weld to the other wire. Okay, I think that's about it. So again, I'm holding the heat shrink tube away from the solder. I'm going to show it to you guys. Okay, I think that's about it. And then you can use a hair dryer. For me, I'm just using the surface of the soldering iron. It just shrinks right away. So once you got it going, all you have to do is see, it's really nice. All you have to do is slide this last piece. Actually, guys, there is a black color, but for the purpose of this video, I wanted to show you so that it makes a big difference. If I show the red color, there's black, blue, red, there's even white. Okay, so right now I will be using a hot air gun just to make it fast, to shrink it fast. Okay guys, now you see it looks very nice, better than using the electrical tape. Okay, now we're going to test it. Oh, you know what, I'm so sorry, you should have tested earlier when you already soldered the two wires before finalizing it. Okay guys, before you finalize the last piece, test it first. I did it afterwards, but I'm a little bit confident of what I did earlier. So, but anyhow, so okay, let me test it. See if it. Okay, now it's 15.3. Okay, that's about it. I hope I gave you a good tip there. And again, all you need is a heat shrink tube, which costs you about $6 if you buy it from Radio Shack. And what else? Solder paste, you also need that, and of course just a little scale of soldering. Okay guys, that's about it. Thank you for watching this video, and hey, please don't forget to subscribe on my YouTube channel. And also, if you want some more tips, you can visit my blog at ifixiteasy.com. That's www.ifixiteasy.com. I will be coming up for some more tips, so if you're subscribed, you get free access to it right away. That's it. Bye.